Hello guys, we are now going to do warm up day 9 on a video and it is entitled Creating Quadratic Equations. Match each equation in standard form to its factored form and its solution. So let's take a look at this. You have number 1 x squared minus 25 equals 0. Number 2 x squared minus 5 equals 0. Number 3 x squared plus 25 equals 0. So I would like to tackle 1 and 2 by using the property of special product called difference of two squares. Let us begin. So the difference of two squares indicates that if you have x squared minus y squared, that will be equal to parentheses x plus y, and then parentheses x minus y. So in this particular case, we can apply that rule by doing this. So x squared minus 25 will look like, okay, put two parentheses, put the signs 1 plus 1 minus, get the square root of x squared, which is x, and put them here. Get the square root of 25 and put them here. And then now we are going to completely solve for x by applying the zero property. Okay, so we have x plus 5 in parentheses x minus 5 equals 0. Apologies for this being small. I ran out of space. And then now we're going to solve for the x's for both of them by applying the zero property. Split your paper. On the left side, put x plus 5 equals 0. On the right side, put x minus 5 equals 0 and then solve for x. So x plus 5 equals 0 will become x equals negative 5 and x minus 5 equals 0 will become x equals 5. So our answer for number 1 are as follows. For this question, you're going to match it to its factored form, which is this one, and to its solution, which is this one. Now let's go ahead and do number 2, applying the same principle. So let's begin. X squared minus 5 equals 0. We're going to apply the same property, although this is not a perfect square, but you can still put it under the radical sign, such as this. Okay, you're going to put inside the parentheses 1 plus 1 minus, and then you're going to get the square root of both. The square root of x squared is x, so put the square root here, 1x here, 1x here, and then the square root of 5 is square root of 5, like this. And then we're going to apply the zero property. Split your paper. Express this factor as x plus square root of 5 equals 0, and this will be expressed as x minus square root of 5 equals 0. And then solve for x. Alright, so what's going to happen here is that this positive square root of 5 will go to the other side, will turn into a negative square root of 5. On here, your negative square root of 5 is going to go to the other side and will become positive square root of 5. So those are your solutions. And so now I color-coded them. For this standard form, it is matched to this factored form, and these are the solutions. Let us now proceed to number 3, and this time I'm going to show you a different way. You have x squared plus 25 equals 0, so let us begin isolating the x. So the positive 25 will go to the other side and becomes negative 25, and we're going to get the square root of both sides. Doing this will enable us to remove the squared right here. So if you put the radical and there's a squared, it will now become power of 1, because this radical signifies power of 1/2. So 1/2 times 2 becomes a 1. Therefore, you will now be able to isolate your x. Please remember that this is plus or minus. Understand that this is an imaginary number. Therefore, for us to be able to extract the square root of 25, it has to turn to a positive 25. The only way we can do that is by factoring out the negative 1 in the negative 25, making the expression become square root of positive 25 times negative 1. And you all know that the square root of negative 1 is an I. Alright guys, I had forgotten to show you that actually this expression right here can be separated by doing this. So that's the reason why we are able to identify that this square root of negative 1 is an I, because this two can actually be separated using this expression. So now, let us now get the square root of 25, which is a perfect square of 5, and this is an I. So your answer would look like this. And you know that this means that one solution is x equals positive 5i, and the other solution is x equals negative 5i. So now for this standard form, this now is the factored form, and these are the solutions. I hope you learned a lot, and let us now move on to our next activity.